Hello and welcome back. You are listening to Fix the Funnel with GA Fix, and today we are officially kicking off episode number 5.
Episode 5. We're really getting into it now.
We are. And honestly, today's topic is one that I think is going to hit home for, well, pretty much anyone who's ever logged into a dashboard and just felt tired. You know that feeling when you walk into a room in your house? Maybe it's the garage or that spare bedroom that's become the junk room. You open the door, you see the mess, and you just freeze.
The classic, I'll deal with this later. You just slowly close the door and walk away because the mental energy required to even look at it is just too much.
Exactly. It's physically painful. Now, for everyone listening, I want you to picture that junk room is your Google Analytics 4 account.
Oof. Yeah. That is a very specific and a very, very common kind of pain.
It really is. We're looking at this fascinating framework today. It's called the Step-by-Step GA4 Cleanup Blueprint from the team at GA Fix. And what struck me right away wasn't the technical advice, not at first. It's how they nail the specific emotional paralysis that comes with having messy data.
And it is emotional. That's what people forget. We think of data analytics as this cold, logical thing, all numbers and math.
Yeah.
Managing it, that is pure anxiety for so many marketers.
It is. The blueprint actually calls out that little voice in your head when you're looking at a broken setup. It's that whisper that says, what if I open this audit and I don't even know where to start?
Or the big one, the imposter syndrome one. What if I try to fix the wrong thing and just make it worse?
And the ultimate fear, right, the one that stops everyone. What if I break something?
What if I break something?
Yeah.
That is probably, 90% of the reason people don't audit their own analytics. And, to be fair, it's a rational fear.
It is.
These systems, especially GA4, they're like these fragile little ecosystems. You pull one wrong thread, and suddenly your revenue reporting just unravels.
But you just don't pull the thread. You leave the door to that junk room closed.
You do. Avoidance feels safer than actually trying to fix it. But, and this is why we're doing this deep dive, this blueprint argues that the cure for that paralysis isn't just, courage, it's structure.
Right. Courage is great, but a map is a whole lot better.
Exactly.
So our mission today is to walk through this blueprint and see how it gets you from being frozen to actually, getting your hands dirty without burning the whole thing down.
Okay, let's do it. So where does this map tell us to begin?
All right, so the blueprint lays out a really strict order of operations. And the starting point, it actually surprised me a little because it seems almost too simple.
Oh.
It says you start at your report overview.
It does sound simple. But think about what you normally do. When you suspect your data is wrong, what's the first thing you do?
Oh, I panic click. I go to admin, I check the data stream. Then I remember someone mentioned thresholding, so I Google that, and then I look at a standard report.
Yeah.
It's a doom scroll.
It is the doom scroll. You're running around a crime scene, just stepping on all the evidence. This first step, the report overview, is all about stopping that impulse.
Yeah.
It's saying, stop.
Just stop.
Don't click anything. Don't touch the tags. Just look at the dashboard.
The blueprint says it's like getting a health score for your account. It rolls everything up into one big picture. Your overall score, your critical issues, and then your moderate issues. Why is that so important psychologically?
It's about cognitive load. When you're doom scrolling, every little problem feels huge. A typo in a UTM parameter feels just as stressful as your purchase event not firing at all.
Right. It's all just one big ball of stress.
But the overview forces a hierarchy on that chaos. It tells you, okay, your score is a 45 out of 100. It's bad, but it's a number.
It turns the feeling my data is a mess into an actual metric. My score is 45.
Exactly. And it separates the real fires from, the minor annoyances. Suddenly you're not fighting a war on 10 fronts. You have a battle plan.
I like that. It's orientation before action. So, okay, we're oriented. We see the score. The blueprint then moves us to the next phase. Tackle the critical issues first.
This seems obvious, right? Do the important stuff first. But in data cleanup, what critical means is really specific and I think often misunderstood.
The GA Fix team defines critical as the issues that actually shake your numbers.
Shake your numbers. I love that phrasing. We aren't talking about best practices or naming conventions here.
Yeah.
We're talking about data integrity. Is the money you see in GA4 the actual money that hit your bank account?
Can you give me a real-world example? What does a critical issue look like?
Sure. A classic one is broken cross-domain tracking. Let's say your main marketing site is on one domain, but your Shopify store is on a subdomain.
Okay.
If that's not set up right, a user comes to your main site, that's one session, they click buy, go to the store, and GA4 sees that as a totally new user, a new session.
So your user count is inflated, and worse, you've lost the attribution. You don't know where that buyer came from.
Precisely. You think they just showed up direct to your store, but really they came from that expensive LinkedIn ad you're running. That's a critical issue. The numbers are lying, and you're making budget decisions based on bad data.
That is actually terrifying. You're basically just burning cash at that point.
You're flying blind. Another one is double counting conversions. The pixel fires when they land on the thank you page, but then they reload it to check their order number, and it fires again. Boom! You think you made 2 sales instead of 1.
Okay, so these are the hole-in-the-roof problems. The blueprint forces you to look there first, but here's where the fear comes back. Identifying the problem is one thing. Fixing cross-domain tracking. That's where I think, what if I break it?
Right. I see the error, but I don't know how to code, or I've never used Google Tag Manager.
Exactly. And this is where the blueprint really tries to solve that. It talks about the anatomy of a fix. For every critical issue, it gives you 4 specific things. First, what's wrong? Second, why it matters.
And that why it matters part is so underrated. You need that to tell your boss why you have to spend 3 hours fixing a tag.
For sure. Third, it shows you what the ideal setup looks like. And fourth, and this is the key part, it gives you a how-to-fix guide with videos.
The video part is crucial. Have you ever tried to read Google's official documentation for GA4?
It's like reading a VCR manual from 1988 that was translated 3 times. It assumes you already know the answer.
It's so dense. A video just shows you, click here, then click here. It turns an abstract concept into a concrete task.
The blueprint claims, once you follow this, half the stress disappears. And I think that's because it moves you from inventing a solution to just following a recipe.
Yes, you aren't being creative with your data foundation. You want to be boringly accurate.
Boring is beautiful when it comes to data integrity.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're tackling the critical stuff. We've got our recipe, we've got our videos. Now the blueprint moves to the next step. And this is where I find myself pushing back a little.
What's that?
It says, fix one thing at a time. Now, when I'm in cleanup mode, I want to be efficient. I see 5 errors, I want to open 5 tabs, change 5 settings, and hit save. It feels productive. Why is that so dangerous here?
In almost any other job, that's the right move. But not here. Because GA4 is a spider web.
Connect to each other. That's the phrase they use.
It's so true. Let's say you fix your data retention settings, and at the same time, you fix a filter to exclude your office's IP address.
Okay, 2 unrelated things.
Seemingly, but then the next day, your traffic drops 15%. Which fix caused it?
You have no idea. Was it the filter working correctly, or did I just break the entire data stream?
Exactly. You've destroyed your ability to troubleshoot. By trying to be efficient, you've created a mess that's impossible to untangle.
So speed is the enemy here.
Discipline is your friend.
Yeah.
The blueprint prescribes a very specific loop. Fix, test, then move to the next.
Can we double-click on that test part? Because that's the part everyone skips, right?
Right.
We just assume the fix worked.
100%. We fix it, we get that little dopamine hit, we close the tab, but you have to verify. If I excluded my IP, do I see my own visit disappear from the real-time report? You have to check.
It's like that old carpentry rule. Measure twice, cut once.
Except here, it's cut once, measure immediately, and don't you dare make another cut until you've measured. It feels slow, I get it, but it prevents that catastrophic, I broke something and I have no idea what scenario.
That safety net is huge. It removes the fear of the irreversible mistake.
It turns it into a scientific process.
Yeah.
You're isolating variables.
Okay, so we fixed the roof. We've dealt with the critical issues. Now the blueprint says we can finally look at the moderate issues.
Right. Now we can arrange the deck chairs.
The blueprint says these don't break your data. So devil's advocate here, why bother? If my revenue is tracking correctly, why should I care about this other stuff?
Because you don't just want data that isn't broken. You want data that is actually useful. You want clarity.
The source material uses the word sharper. It says fixing these makes your data sharper.
Sharper is perfect. Think about unwanted referrals. That's a classic moderate issue. Let's say you use PayPal for checkout. A user comes from a Facebook ad, goes to PayPal to pay, and then gets sent back to your site. If PayPal isn't on your exclusion list, GA4 says, hey, great news. PayPal just sent you a customer who made a purchase.
Which completely blows up your marketing attribution. You think PayPal's a marketing channel, not a payment processor?
Exactly. The sale is recorded, so it's not critical. Your revenue number is right. But the story of that sale is totally wrong. Fixing moderate issues clears up that mud. It makes the story sharp.
But the order is key. Fix the hull before you arrange the deck chairs.
Always.
Okay, so we've patched the hull, we've arranged the chairs. Now we get to the final step in the blueprint, the victory lap.
The rescan.
The blueprint calls this the feel-good moment. You hit the button and run the audit all over again.
And this is so important. In our line of work, we rarely get a finished state,
Yeah.
The inbox is never empty. But here, you get a concrete before and after. The blueprint calls it the cleanest before-after check you can get.
It validates the work. You remember seeing that score of 45? Now you rescan and it's an 85. The red lights are green.
It's proof of control. You took a chaotic system and you brought order to it. That feeling is what makes you want to maintain it. Without that win, it just feels like endless chores.
It closes the loop on that initial fear. What if I break it? The rescan proves I didn't break it, I fixed it.
And I can prove it with this score.
So looking at this whole blueprint overview, critical, single tasking, moderate, rescan, it seems like the secret ingredient isn't technical skill, it's patience.
It's patience and process. The GA Fix team says it perfectly.
Yeah.
Follow this flow and you'll never feel lost inside GA4 again. Notice they didn't say you'll know everything. They said you won't feel lost.
That is a huge distinction.
You have a compass. You always know where you are in the process. You're not just wandering around.
Which brings us back to our listener, standing there with the door to their data junk room still closed. We've talked about the fear of opening it, but I want to pose a final question to you. What's the real cost of keeping that door shut?
Well, that's the thought to leave everyone with, isn't it? We think that if we don't audit our GA4, we can't break it.
Right. I'm safe if I don't touch it.
But if you are too afraid to verify your data, isn't your data already broken?
Wow. Okay. That hits hard.
I mean, think about it. If you can't trust the numbers enough to even look at them closely, then you can't trust them to make decisions. The system is already failing you.
The breakage is just invisible.
It's happening in the dark.
Yeah.
Your data is already broken. You just haven't admitted it yet. The only way out is through. You have to turn on the light.
And a blueprint like this helps you know what to do when you see the mess.
Exactly. You just take that first step. Open the report overview. Just start there.
I think that is the perfect challenge to leave with our listeners. Open the door, turn on the light. Thank you so much for diving deep with us today.
Absolutely. Go fix the funnel.
This has been Fix the Funnel with GA Fix. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.
See you next time.